Good afternoon, Somers. I'm your highway guy, Nick. Just wanted to touch base on something that's been popping up for about the last week and a half. Residents have been calling complaining there's cameras that have been popping up in our subdivisions around town on telescoping poles attached to our street signs and guide rail. Long story short, those are the property of a contractor that's working for New York State Department of Transportation. Apparently, they're being used as a traffic study to determine the funding for Region 8 state roads. Good news is they're up for 3 days. They collect 3 days worth of data and then they remove them and move them to another location. Bad news is they seem to be placing them on these small dead-end roads in subdivisions that only have, 5 or 6 homes on them. How they would get an accurate traffic configuration from a small subdivision that's nowhere near a state road, I have no idea. I've been asking the question over and over again to multiple levels of state DOT employees. Nobody seems to be able to give me a straight answer. I will be in Albany on Thursday for a SALT conference, and I do plan to meet with the state DOT after the fact, and hopefully I can get an answer. What I'm worried about is that they're kind of screwing us. Like, they're going to take traffic studies on these small dead-end roads and go, yeah, there's no traffic down there, so we don't need to put money into Route 118 or Route 100 or Route 139. I hope that's not the case. I hope there's some kind of legitimate explanation, but I can't come up with anything logically. The one more thing I want you to know, the town of Somers had nothing to do with this. We had nothing to do with the placement, the location. These cameras have a 1-800 number on them, and if you call them, you'll speak to somebody from the company that's contracted by the state DOT, and they will tell you that the town of Somers selected these locations. Not the case. I've spoken to the supervisor's office, engineering, buildings and maintenance, anyone who could have possibly outside a highway had a stake in something like this. Nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. These were not selected by Somers. We weren't notified that they were going up. Sometimes these cameras appear like they're angled at your house, which we've had that happen twice, and the residents were very upset. And I get why. Again, good news, they're in and out 3 days. Bad news, I have no idea why they're collecting data from our dead ends. And I'm really, really hopeful that they're not basing, their funding for Region 8 off of this. I've said this in past videos. Region 8 in New York, where we live, has the worst graded roads, yet we pay the highest amount in taxes. So again, reach out to the state DOT, reach out to Senator Harcum, Assemblyman Slater, who's actually been very helpful. He's great. He's on the Transportation Committee. He's working with us to try to get to the bottom of this. But please, 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 help me as much as you possibly can to help you. Reach out and ask why. Why are these cameras up? Why are you putting them on dead ends? And why is Region 8 the worst graded roads and bridges, yet we pay the most money? Thanks. Talk to you soon.